Hey guys, welcome. I'm your friendly neighborhood bee, and let's get straight into it, shall we? From r/, today I effed up by oversleeping and almost ruining my best friend's 4 a.m. wedding. So, my best friend was having a 4 a.m. destination wedding. Yes, 4 in the morning. Makeup for me, the bride's mom, and the groom's mom was scheduled for 9:30 p.m. the night before. Jesus. The bride asked if I could drive them since I had rented a car. Bride's mom was staying at the bride's sister's house. The groom's mom was at a hotel about 5 minutes from mine. Easy. Simple. I got this. Except I did not, in fact, got this. For some mysterious, cursed reason, my iPhone alarm decided to be silent. This has happened to me before, and no, my phone was not on silent. So instead of waking up at 9 p.m. like a responsible adult and supportive best friend, I woke up at 11 p.m. because my husband got up to use the bathroom. 2 hours late. Meanwhile, both moms had been waiting for me for an hour. They eventually panicked and woke up the bride to figure out what to do. Why did they wake her up? Don't bring problems to the bride. Okay, continuing. So now it's the middle of the night before her wedding, and instead of peacefully preparing to get married, she's stress spiraling because I vanished from existence. They ended up starting their makeup around 10:30 p.m. without me. Mine didn't start until 11:30 p.m. When I finally saw my best friend, she was upset, rightfully so. I felt like absolute garbage, full anxiety attack. Apologized approximately 1,000 times. I was convinced I had permanently damaged our friendship and possibly the entire institution of marriage. She eventually calmed down, and the wedding was beautiful, but I still feel sick thinking about it. I know I messed up by not waking up. That part is on me. But a tiny, irrational part of my brain keeps wondering, couldn't they have woken up the bride's sister, or called an Uber, or literally anything other than waking up the bride at 10 p.m. to tell her her bridesmaid disappeared? Anyway, today I effed up by trusting my iPhone and almost becoming the villain in my best friend's wedding story forever. Oh my god. Yeah, like, I understand wanting to have the sunset wedding at, sorry, not sunset, the sunrise wedding at 4 a.m., but oh my god, that's so much stress. Also, why did they wake up the bride? This is not a problem you bring to the bride. Do not bring problems to the bride and groom, especially on their wedding day. This is something you could have solved yourself. You use Uber or Lyft. You could have called the bride's sister. You could have called OP. Called OP. Why did no one call her? Be like, hey, dude, where are you? Oh my god. Oh my god. And if you like stories like this, or you just like listening to me read to you, I'm here every day, so make sure to like and subscribe. Next victim. From r/entitled people, my favorite kind of people. Entitled neighbor threatened me with police. Now, important context, apparently this is an ongoing issue. My entitled neighbor, that you can read about in my post history, is obsessed with me. It seemed like things were calming down. I have a doorbell camera, and she wasn't knocking on my door as much. She seemed to be running out of steam. Last night, my son and I went to a party at a friend's house. Several children were there, and the host offered a sleepover for any kid who wanted to spend the night. Once all the kids were asleep, us adults enjoyed the adult beverages. I left my son and my car at my friend's house to pick up in the morning, which I did. I then walked home. Very responsible of you. After I got home, I went straight to bed. I was woken up by the doorbell camera. My neighbor was there. I ignored her, but I watched her on the camera. She said she knew I was home and that if I didn't answer, she would call for a wellness check for me because I came home with my son. I told her through the camera that he was at a slumber party and I wanted her off my porch. She asked why he was at a slumber party on a Monday night. Okay. I said it was none of her business and to get off my porch. She said she was going to call for the wellness check unless I showed her proof that he was okay. I walked out the back door and towards her house. She saw me when I was almost there and came running after me. I knocked on her door. She reached the front door right before her husband opened the door and demanded I leave. The irony. Her husband answered the door and asked what was going on. I told him what his wife did and threatened to do. He yelled and cursed at her, asking what was wrong with her and telling her to get in the house. She told him not she told him to lower his voice, saying the neighbors went here. And they wouldn't hear you admonishing OP. Anywho, he said the neighbors already think she's a word I'm not going to repeat because they see her knocking on my door all the time. She told him to stop, and he told her to get in the house. She went inside, apologized to me. He apologized to me and said she isn't going to knock on my door again. I felt uncomfortable because of the yelling and cursing, and I was also a little tipsy still. So I said, okay, and went home. So far, no knocks. We'll see what happens. Jesus. Entitled people. Oh my God. You can tell that this has been an ongoing thing for months. At this point, a lot of people in the comments are commenting this, and I agree that you need to go to a lawyer and file a harassment claim. See if you can get like a cease and desist, something. You need some sort of legal action here. This is a lot. This talk about Gladys Kravitz. Oh my God, no. Next victim. r/am I the butthole? For fixing my daughter's car when her boyfriend said he'd handle it. My daughter is 21, and I have always been pretty close. She moved in with her boyfriend a couple months ago. It was a little tough seeing her move out, but I know she's an adult and building her own life. She drives an old Corolla with a lot of miles on it. A couple weeks ago, she mentioned the steering wheel had been shaking when she got up to highway speeds, and sometimes the front end would shudder when she braked. Oh. She told me her boyfriend said he would take care of it. Another week went by, and it still hadn't been looked at. Last weekend, she came by my place and said it was getting worse, and it was starting to make her nervous to drive. Yeah, that would make me nervous to drive too. So I took it for a quick drive, and sure enough, the wheel was shaking pretty good at around 60 miles an hour, and it shuddered when I hit the brakes. I pulled the front wheels off in the driveway, and it was pretty obvious the front brakes and the rotors were warped. The brake pads were worn unevenly. Oh. I ran to the parts store, grabbed new rotors and pads, swapped them out that afternoon. Took a couple hours, and after that, the car drove smooth again. Good. My daughter was really happy and thanked me a bunch. To me, it wasn't a big deal. I've worked on cars most of my life, and she's my kid. A few days later, she and her boyfriend came over for dinner. At one point, he pulled me aside, told me I shouldn't have fixed the car. He said it was his responsibility as her boyfriend to handle that kind of thing, and that by doing it myself, I stepped on his toes. If you think it's your responsibility to handle it, then why the hell didn't you handle it? I told him I wasn't trying to prove anything. The car was getting worse, and I just fixed it while she was there. Since then, he's been pretty short with me, and the vibe has been a little weird. My daughter says he feels like I undermined him. From my point of view, she's still my daughter, and if something on her car is unsafe and I can fix it in an afternoon, I'm going to. Yeah, he's more concerned about how he appears to society and to you than his girlfriend's safety, and she lives with this fool? I would be a little nervous. I'd be real nervous. No, I'd be nervous about controlling issues and other things popping up, because what in the world? Like, letting her, oh, no. No, no, no. her driving in a vehicle that's having trouble braking and acting like this, no, no, that, and he's more concerned about, oh, you made me look bad, than her safety. No, no, ew, I don't like him. You're not the butthole. But anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.